As I start this video, a wasp just came into the kitchen. So if you see me dodging anything, this is what's happening in my house. The wasp just came in. Hello, everyone. Happy September and back to school. Oh my gosh, are you happy to have the kids back to school? One of ours was back for a whole half hour today. A half hour. Yeah. I don't even know what the point is of having kids back for a half hour, but anyhow, we're all getting back into the swing of things with fall, and I have a dressing recipe that I want to demo for you today from Drina's Kind Kitchen. And while we do that, we're going to talk about how expensive it is to eat vegan, right? It's so darn expensive. It can be. It doesn't have to be, it can be. And I'm the first to say that I spend a lot of money on food. I'm not dodging that in any way. So I'm not going to be the one. I'm looking at this wasp. They're pretty slow right now, but I think he smells my ingredients. He does definitely, or she. I'm going to be the first to say that I spend a lot of money on food because it's what I do. I love to create and I love to try new vegan food. So if there's something out there, I want to try it. But it doesn't mean that's how you have to eat or what you have to buy. So I'm going to show you a comparison today. First, we're making, and let me know where you're watching from, what you're doing. Are your kids back in school? Do you have kids going to school? We had one back for an hour and a half. The other was back for a half hour today, and which truly is just a nuisance for parents. That is it. Let's just call it as it is. So we are making from Drina's Kind Kitchen Buddha dressing. It's delicious. I'm doing a TV segment tomorrow. And so, hello, Denise. Hello, nice to see you. Denise is one of my frequent commenters and watchers. Nice to have you. So, there he goes. Where was I talking about? Oh, I'm doing a TV segment tomorrow, and I'm doing the cornucopia salad for that TV segment because I feel like we're moving into fall. As much as I'm dragging my heels moving into fall, let me tell you, I love summer. It is hard as heck for me to say goodbye to the summer produce and the summer weather and to feel fall coming. It's like, no, I just want to move to Hawaii. If anyone wants to hook me up with a gig in Hawaii so I can move, please do. I will pack it all in and move to Hawaii in a heartbeat, or even half the year. I'm happy with that too. So tomorrow I'm making this. I'm trying to find the picture. Cornucopia salad. Heavens to Betsy, where is it? There it is. So I'm making this for a TV segment because I feel like it's a very fall kind of recipe. Thanksgiving will be here in a blink in Canada. It's in October, and it's so early every year. So, oh, thank you, Denise. She says that she loves my videos. So it's one I want to share. I think it's very seasonal and delicious. So delicious. But we're going to talk about produce and eating vegan and how freaking expensive it can be. So as you see behind me, I've washed a bunch of produce. I was out this morning and I went to a produce store. And they have a bunch of no spray veggies. It's called Mary's Garden in the area. I absolutely love it. And I bought carrots, zucchini, onions, nugget potatoes, lemons, cilantro, 2 bunches of parsley, onions, green onions, limes, 2 romaine, cukes, a pomegranate, which was way out of season and expensive, but I had to buy it for my segment tomorrow. Yellow peaches, which peaches are expensive. Avocado, we know they're expensive. Melon and sweet potatoes. And when I say I bought sweet potatoes, I bought 5 pounds of sweet potatoes, and I bought how many pounds of other potatoes? Another 5 pounds of nugget potatoes. And I bought, a hell of a lot of peaches. I bought 7 pounds of peaches. I spent $67 on a whack of food. I came back with, I think, 8 bags of produce and great, beautiful fresh produce, fresh carrots, zucchini, herbs, lettuce, the biggest lettuce. I'm talking this lettuce was this big, and I have 2 of them. Hi, Lisa. Yes, let's set up a gig together in Hawaii. Nice to see you and hear from you after a little while. So that was $67. I went yesterday. I bought some nut cheeses and spent 4 nut cheeses and spent more than $40. So there you go, right? It's the convenience foods that are expensive. We've also been, the kids have loving these Just Egg toastable products. And I know they're more processed and, a lot of people don't like that. But when you have teenagers, they want some like handy, quick foods. They are loving these toastable, what do you call them? Toasted Just Eggs. Those things are like $10 a box here. So that's the equivalent of about $2 to $3 for one. So this is where it gets expensive. If you're buying the basics, and especially greens, beans, vegetables, nuts are always more expensive, seeds are more expensive. When you're buying the basics and you can eat deliciously and healthy with those basics, then it's not expensive. But I'm the first to say I spend a lot of money on food, and I don't deny it because it's kind of my thing, right? It's my job. It's kind of like if you're loving fashion, you spend a lot on fashion or interior decorating, right? It's whatever your thing is. Hi, Jennifer. And she made the Buddha dressing last night. Awesome. And hello, Misty. She's waiting for her signed book. Did you order it through my live book signing? And yes, exactly, right? It's all about what you're buying, not about being plant-based. It's what you're eating being plant-based. So I want to put that out there because it comes up a lot. Like, it's expensive for these ingredients. I even had a review on Amazon the other day and I know we shouldn't look at the negative reviews, right? But we do. And I've had mostly positive reviews. But I had, one review that said my recipes were ho-hum. Like, hurts a heart, right? And another said that I was using expensive ingredients. And I feel like most of my ingredients aren't expensive, except for those things that are like treats. Like if you're making a cheesecake, then the ingredients are going to be expensive. But for most of my recipes, I think for the salad dressings and soups and mains and muffins and things, they're fairly readily available, not too expensive ingredients. But when you start to do things that are a little fancy, or you want to impress, or you're using more convenience foods, that's where we spend the money, right? So that's enough of my jabber. I'm going to get to this recipe so I can show you, and it is delicious. And if you make it, perhaps double it, because it really is so good on so many things. Okay, so I'm going to move this down. And I also want to thank everyone that has added reviews to Amazon, because you've added a lot in the last week, and it's like amazing. I appreciate it so much. And if you haven't and you would be willing to, there's a link in the description, and I'd love for you to pop to Amazon.com and just add a note of love for the book. That would be great. So we're starting with a tiny amount of tahini. Well, it's not a tiny amount. It's a tablespoon and a half. But to me, for a dressing, that's not a lot. If you want to reduce fat, I'd say go to about a tablespoon. And it's a good base for this dressing. It helps bring the ingredients together without using oil. And it helps add body and consistency to the dressing. So that's going on my Blendtec. Again, I've mentioned this a few times. I use the twister jar for dressings. It's super handy. It can make small batches. If you want to get a twister jar for your Blendtec or get a Blendtec, there's also a link in the description to link over, and you can get 20% off with a code EA-Blendtec. That's there for you if you're interested. We're adding a tiny amount of mustard, yellow mustard. I mostly add this for color, but if you hate mustard, omit it if you really don't like it. I was testing really sensitive to mustard for a while, so I started leaving it out of my recipes, but not out of my recipes. It's in my recipes. I was leaving it out of my cooking when I was making things at home, because I was showing to be sensitive to it, and it was causing like inflammation. Mustard seed's quite a high allergen, and I didn't know that it was so triggering, but if you notice on packaging, sometimes it says allergens mustard. So I didn't know why it's an allergen. I don't know. I just think a lot of our food is tainted, and we're very sensitive to things now. Okay, so let's get back to focusing on the recipe. We need some nutritional yeast and apple cider vinegar. I'm walking away again. how often I do this in recipes or my video demos. There's always something I don't have. Okay, so we're using nutritional yeast. There's a lot of nutritional yeast in this recipe. If you don't like nutritional yeast, this may not be the dressing for you. Though, I will say maybe try it with a little less nutritional yeast. Maybe try it with 2 tablespoons. I have a 1/4 cup and just see. Because I didn't like nutritional yeast for the first 10 years of being vegan. I thought it was like disgusting. Why do people use this ingredient? And then something changed and I used it in a small amount and I loved it. So I encourage you, this wasp continues to circle around me, but they're really slow right now. They're just kind of like hanging out. They're not trying to go after me, so it's fine. Plus, I'm just giving them some good energy, like, hey, you're okay. I'll let them free after. I always set them free. So nutritional yeast, I just sprayed that up in my face a little, a Nooch facial. And the same amount of apple cider vinegar, 1/4 cup of apple cider vinegar. And I'm going to move this down again so you can see the recipe, not me. Some tamari. And that gives it that umami deliciousness in the background that makes it so sumptuous. A small clove of garlic. So this garlic clove is actually a little big for what I want in this particular dressing. So I'm just going to trim it down. You love garlic, then you'll know, hey, I want more, right? I like a good garlic kick. So maybe you want a medium or large clove of garlic in yours. A little bit of maple syrup to sweeten. If you want to use date syrup, go for it. If you don't want to use sweetener and you're used to dressings without sweetener, then omit it because your palate's used to it. So it's fine. I have people ask me that, like, I don't use sweeteners. Do I have to use them in my dressing? But if your palate's adjusted to not using sweeteners, then you absolutely can omit it. Add a tiny amount of salt and then just a dash of water. I mean, I measure it for the recipe when I cook at home. I often eyeball. So here we go. This is going to be noisy for a second. That's it. You really want to give it a good blitz to pulverize that garlic so that you're not getting chunky pieces of garlic in the dressing. If you're using a standard blender, just puree a little bit longer. It smells divine. That's all. It smells so good. My kids love this dressing, and I feel like it's that kind of go-to dressing that you could use all week long. It will probably keep in the fridge for more than a week. I'd say maybe like 8 days, but honestly, it's probably going to be used before that. So, and if you have a big family, double the recipe. Perfect, right? You've got it then for all week. It's amazing on kale. It's amazing on steamed kale or any greens. It's amazing on hot quinoa. Like, oh my gosh, just cooked hot quinoa. It's beautiful on that. It's really good on sweet potatoes. It's that contrast of like all this acidic, umami, salty flavor against the sweet potatoes. Delicious. And that's why I love it on this cornucopia salad, because, can I get the picture again? There we go. Because it has kale and sweet potatoes. And it also has the pomegranate seeds and some pumpkin seeds. And that combination to me is really good. But if you don't like nutritional yeast, then I give you the option to use the curry dressing in that salad, because I think that also is really well suited to the components of that salad. So that's it. I've got some questions coming in. So I think what I will do is answer those afterwards, after I hop off, and address each one individually. So my video doesn't go too long. So that's it. Chime in with any questions, make the Buddha dressing. And if you're so inclined, I'd love a review on Amazon. It really helps to get the book out there and also helps balance those, naysayers that will chime in. So thank you for doing so. I know many of you have and really stepped up and helped me out with those reviews. Thank you very much. All right, enjoy your week. And when you're making, I forgot to mention, making recipes from the book and putting them on social, tag Darina's, hashtag Darina's Kind Kitchen, hashtag Kind Kitchen Love. So 2, hashtag Darina's Kind Kitchen, hashtag Kind Kitchen Love. Every week I'm drawing a winner for the Kind Kitchen gift pack, which is a copy of the book. So you get a bonus copy. The Kind Kitchen tea towel. The Kind Kitchen tea towel. The Kind Kitchen print, which will have your name on it, not mine. So it would like say Sue's Kind Kitchen or Misty's Kind Kitchen. And the laptop stickers, which I would show you, but they're on the back of my laptop, so I can't show you. Okay, guys, enjoy and keep cooking on. Show me what you're making from the book. I want to see those pics, and I'll draw a winner every week. Okay, thanks for watching. I'll be back soon. See ya.